Good afternoon. One other thing I want to talk to you about is our twin screw dollies here. This piece of equipment we typically use on the Versa-Steel line as well as the steel set framing table. It's pretty much the same product for both of them. We'll go over a few things here. You can see they're actually got a gore track that actually feeds the air line and the electrical from the table supply, and it runs up through a gore track on a gore trough, and it runs up to the control panel here, and I'll show you that here in just a second. A couple things I want to go over with on this deal is the tools, how things clamp and how things screw together. This particular customer has Makita quick drives, super drive 85 series screw tools on here, screw guns. I'll show you how we screw walls and studs and plates in here shortly. We strongly recommend the customer to contact his tool rep if he's got a favorite tool supplier, because we can accommodate and adapt to pretty much about any tool to our twin screw dollies. Whether it's some of the mainline brands such as like the Super Drive, the Pan fasteners. I know there's a few other ones out there. Sorry if I forgot a few. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to actually roll this down to the end of the table. I'm going to screw a couple plates to the studs here quick and kind of show you how it works, and just follow me here. Here we go. Anyway, I went ahead and screwed this side of the wall off here. Fairly quick. These particular ones, I believe we're running 14 gauge studs and plates. I believe it's 14. Yeah, it's 14. We can pretty much do, you know, your 12, 14, 16, all the way up to 24. When we get into center studs, we have this tool here that actually mounts onto our screw dolly. What it is, it's this little tweaker wrench that you actually sneak in here, grab a hold of the stud, and you pull it up here on the edge. Some real thin stud that you can bend with your fingers. At least when you're operating this piece of equipment to screw it together, you'll actually jump up here and, well, I'll show you right here. You'll hook this up in there and you'll pull up here and just screw the wall together. That's kind of what this is for here. And it comes with our pair of screw dollies here. The thicker ones you don't have much issues with. Again, we have a small clamping system here that actually make sure that you have the plate up against the stud. When you're doing like a 2x6 or a 2x8, this will actually push up against it. I can come in here. Right now we're set up with the, you know, the 3 5/8 or the 2x4 studs. I can pull up here and slide this up, and this goes a 2x6, put the pin in it, slide it up here, do the 2x8 for the big tall walls. I'll kind of pop this into place so you can see what I'm talking about. And if you had like the 2x8 ones here, we have this clamping mechanism. I'll hit it here. It's coming out and actually pushes up against the top of the plate to push it back in straight position so that you can get a good secure tool fasten there. We like to have the tools here upon the order. It's not a big deal most of the cases, but if it's something special, we need to be able to measure the mounting area of the screw gun so we can make our tool mounts to accommodate our screw dollies. So we're going to strongly advise that upon the order that at some point we're going to be hitting you up on getting the tools from your particular reps or your fastener companies that you like to go with, and so we can get going on the order. Other than that, I'll go through a couple little quick things. Let me grab a screwdriver, open this up. Pretty self-explanatory if you start looking, if you're any aware, or a little bit aware of like electronics and stuff like that. It's pretty primitive stuff. I mean primitive as strong, reliable. It ain't too technical, it ain't over. It's even a caveman could do it kind of mentality. we have two motor starters in here. Each motor starter runs a drill. So when we activate a switch here in the motor, we actually activate the motor starter, which is rated at 15, 20 amps, something like that, and the guns are like 6, 7, or whatever it is. So it's real reliable, and it's quick and easy. You can unplug it. You really can't see it, but you can actually unplug the tools and take them off. Need to be quick replacements for if your tool goes down or you burn it up, you can just plug it in like a regular 110 outlet. For the fact that if you ever run them hard, and you burn one up, or you cut a wire, or you break something, it's a quick changeover. You don't have to get inside a control box and bring an electrician in to untie things. All that baloney you got to deal with when you're dealing with electricity. Simple basic air logic, SMC activator valves, real simple stuff, SMC valves. Other than that, it's fused. You can shut off your bottom tool. If you're just wanting to screw the top for some crazy reason, if you're doing something special in your components where you don't have to screw the bottom one right away or vice versa, you can actually shut the top tool off from functioning. Or if you're running along and you're screwing away and you didn't realize that your bottom screw track was out of screws, you can go, oh man, okay, shut the top one off, turn the bottom tool on, and run underneath and finish your wall screwing. This particular table is 28 foot long, capable of doing a 28 foot long wall, 16.3 high, overall dimensions like 31 feet by 18. That's pretty much your floor print. So this particular customer ordered it to be able to do 6'9" to 16'3". So we've built them in a wide variety of sizes. We can make them as long as you want. Hypothetically speaking, we can't make them 1,000 feet, but we make them 48 foot, 56 feet, whatever the customer desires. Height, we go from knee wall of 4 foot, 3'9" to 20 foot wall height. We got a couple of them orders coming down the pipe as we speak. But enough of that. I want to kind of show you the piece of equipment here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up, pop up the wall, and roll it out of the way. Talk about the product itself. So I'm going to go ahead and move it out. I'm going to pop it up. It has floor grading. You can walk through this one pretty easy. I'll kind of show you. This particular wall is 12 foot by 10 foot. Just threw some studs in here. Kind of real easy. What we have here is we have these component rollers located on the inside of the stud locators, and I'll get to those here in a second. I don't know if you see them. I'll pop them down here shortly to show you that. These are little component rollers that we have mounted to the table all the way along with both sides. This particular one has 5 and 5/10 2-inch diameter air cylinders located on this piece of equipment, which is 3,500, 4,000 pounds lifting capability. I don't know exact numbers, so don't hold me to it. I'll go ahead and pop this down and talk about some stud locators. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have the gentleman running the camera kind of zoom across so we can talk about a couple things. Kind of easier to see. You'll see that we got 1624 4 foot. They're color-coded stud locators for the customer specs, whether they're going to do 1624, whatever it may be. The cool thing is they pop down. We have a single here, so that when you lay your plate or your stud in, you flip it up against it. So when you're throwing your studs into the table, your plates are already located on both ends. You drop your studs in, you close the wall up and open it up a 1/4 inch, and you pop your studs up against these stud locators. If you're doing some form of like components or something like that, to where or you got to move or relocate a stud and it happens to be over one of these, they actually pop down out of the way. It's a real neat gravity controlled kind of feature. Real neat, real simple, real basic. They are adjustable, where if you need them a little bit here, a little bit there, you can loosen them up and move them. Also, we're going to jump back over here in the front of the table. We have an adjustable squaring stop, and depends on how some different manufacturers of wall panel lines, walls I should say, depending where you need to set your first stud or your first plate or whatever. That's totally adjustable. We know there's different codes, different specs the customers do, so we keep this option readily available for the customer. Most guys, you know, they'll set it in one spot and just leave it alone and go for it. So, and located on top of it is a tape measure that's ran down a piece of C channel, the whole length of the table, so you can start your 1 here, your 0 here, your 0, whatever you want to do, or if you want to put something special in, you have a tape measure to do that, because we got 0 set at the square inch stops located right here, which we have located up the first stud located. Okay, also what we have located here in the middle, when we're rolling the table out, like this particular one, it goes out to 16 foot. We have this center support mounted in there that's adjustable. You have to loosen up and move it, but it's so that when you're throwing your studs over the top, grab a stud here, or a stud here. You can, this individual over here could just not be so concerned about it. He can line it up here. The gentleman on the other side can grab it and just simply set it up in the place. So, kind of a neat option. You're probably wondering a little bit on the dolly rails on the side that the screw dollies are mounted on too. Let's talk a little bit about that. All right, we have these little adjustable plate castings. I shouldn't say adjustable, they're movable. What happens is this whole area inside the table is completely open for our screw dollies, their screw guns to come up and screw the bottom part of the plate as well as the top. So what happens, you actually lay the plate on top of this on the inside. When the screw dolly comes along, it rolls along here, and I'll just show you here in a second, but it pushes out of the way, it's spring loaded, so this whole area is open. The screw gun can come up underneath and screw the plate to the studs. And I'll grab this real quick and kind of show you here. Rolling along, it pushes it out of the way. That's the same feature we have on our steel stud framing table as well. Real neat little device.